Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Laser Garand mod, which is being made by user Targeted Fox. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a wonderful new energy weapon in the form of an M1 Garand that's been jerry-rigged into a laser rifle. And I love this thing. It is definitely a weird mod and definitely kind of strange looking, but to me it feels something that is very Fallout. I mean, again, it is a jerry-rigged laser rifle made out of a real-world gun, which just seems right and very much amuses me. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what exactly we do get with the Laser Garand, which in its most standard and basic form will do a pretty good amount of damage at 80 energy damage, using the standard fusion cell with a firing rate of 73, range of 203, accuracy of 58, for a weight of 10.2. Not too bad at all there. And as you can see, this thing is, well, very strange looking. It is quite literally just an M1 Garand that has all sorts of stuff bolted onto it to jerry-rig it into a laser rifle. And again, I very much like that. It's weird, it's wacky, and to me, it screams Fallout. And it does have a lot of good details to it, which is quite nice. I do love the little meter in the back there. We've also got the laser optic focus note there on a post-it. And just all in all, a very strange design, but that has a reason for it. The mod maker actually does give a lore reason as to why this exists, which is strange. Basically, it started pre-war, but then gunners found the design and just made what we have now. A little bit more detail on the mod page than what I just said, but overall I think it very much fits into the world of Fallout and is just strange. Now, as for the modifications on this thing, there's a pretty decent list of stuff. Not a huge list. There's a couple of categories, like the barrel and stock, where you're not going to get anything, but others, like the sights and the fusion cells down here, where you've got quite a lot of different options, which is magnificent. It'll definitely help keep this thing a little bit more useful into the later mid to late game, as this is definitely sort of an early mid sort of weapon when you'll start seeing it. Now, as for how you do get your hands on one of these lovely things, well, first you're gonna need some prerequisites. Those, of course, being the Far Harbor DLC, as well as Nuka World, and the M1 Garand mod, as of course this is borrowing a lot of stuff from there, like the main M1 Garand model, textures, and of course the ping sound for when you reload. God, I love that sound. And once you got all that installed, you'll start seeing these in the world starting at level 15. And you'll find it on Vendors, Institute for some reason, Railroad Heavies, Brotherhood of Steel Folk, and of course, Gunners, who are sort of the primary reason these are supposed to exist, again according to that lore the mod maker gave. And there is also an alternate download though. That's the standard one, you know, level 15, all those people. But if you'd like, there's an optional download that instead will use this to replace the laser musket. And in that case, instead of all the other things I mentioned before, these will just spawn on Minutemen as well as legendary enemies. So let's go ahead and grab our two modified versions we got over here, and I actually need to switch over to this one so we get all of the mods when we look at it over here. And yeah, go take a look at what we do have in the weapon Workbench. And starting, of course, with the receiver category, where we have, of course, your pretty typical things, standard, light frame, advanced, etc. But we also do have the option of turning this into a fully automatic M1 Garand laser rifle, which just makes this weapon even weirder and makes me love it all the more. So a lot of fun options there. Now then, like I said, barrel and stock categories sadly have nothing in either of these. There you go, you get no choice. But then once you get into the sights category, we've got some more fun stuff. We have, of course, a standard sight, short scope, makeshift red dot, and a long scope, but you can also forego the scope entirely for a heat shield, or if you want some different sights, you can actually put a metal piece for attachments up at the top. And when you do that, it's gonna unlock not this category, which just adds in 2 additional sights of either a laser sight or a spoon reflex. Again, with the whole jerry-rigged nature of this thing, that seems appropriate, and I like it. I do kind of wish there were a few more options in here, since you are having to get an entire attachment up on the top for these, but oh well, and also that needs a texture. But then beyond that, we have, of course, the muzzle category, where we either got the standard nothing, we can get a long focuser for better recoil control and range, or go with a gamma suppressor, so it's quieter, which, you know, cool. And then, of course, we have the sort of fusion cell category down here, where you've got the sort of standard depleted fusion cells, an extended fusion one, internal recharging array, Poseidon energy military grade circuit, or the Watts prototype internal generator, which all of these are going to increase the number of shots you get per reload, basically. Now, we also have the one that I have installed on this thing, which is the distorted internal capacitor, which I still am not entirely sure what it does. It made the gun worse, and requires Idiot Savant for it to actually be made, and of course the description here is why it's just worse, but I mean, okay. There you go, you can do that. But yes, overall in here, you're going for additional shots per magazine. Or, well, fusion cell. And then finally, we have a tape category, so you can have the blue tape on the back or have it removed. And that is it for the different modifications on this thing. Not too bad in the slightest. Let me get back out the standard version of the gun and let us take some shots. There we go, a wonderful 10 shots out of this thing. Pretty good on the fire rate. The kick on it is surprisingly high, which always weirds me out in this game, that energy weapons have freaking kick to them. But, oh well, what are you gonna do? That's the mechanic you gotta live with in the game. And of course, being made from an M1 Garand, we still get that magnificent ping sound whenever we do reload. But again, with an energy weapon, and that's just wonderful. Now let's get out the one that requires the Idiot Savant one, because I did make that fully automatic, and we've got the spoon sight, which, as you can see, is a little wonky. This is the one sight that doesn't seem to be working quite right, but it looks cool at the very least. But yes, let's fire the 15 shots we got for an automatic M1 Garand here. And as you can see, it's all over the place. I think that's because of the Idiot Savant ammunition thing that we got going. But, yeah, it's definitely a weird one. And then let's go to my properly upgraded one, where I actually put the fun Gamma Suppressor on there. And this one's doing up to 103 damage, which is the highest I was able to get this without any perks. Though, of course, with perks, you should be able to get that a pretty decent amount higher. Well, not too shabby on the 103, honestly. And kind of weird, though, having a silenced laser rifle. And I don't know why I put the 75-round fusion cell adapter in there, considering I made a silenced laser sniper rifle. But hey, at least we have lots and lots of shots before we have to eventually ping that out and reload. So let us grab our usual Death Claw, which we'll fight him with this one, and yeah, see how that goes with this thing. It's 103 damage, it should do pretty well, I would imagine. Granted, with the long scope, you know, it's gonna, oh boy. Alright, just hit fire it, there we go. Doing some pretty decent damage on him, alright, oh, he's a-running. Oh god, yeah, this long scope on this thing for short range, not the greatest, but he's gonna die. Take that to Death Claw. Oh god, oh wait, come on, let's get his arm back there. It's not making it, it's not, okay, back down the stairs we go to lure him back out. There he is. Hello, Death Claw, come on, buddy, come on over. And there we go, he's dead. And I only went through half of my bullets, or well, lasers. It's such a weird mod, but I really do like the idea of this gun. A real-world historic weapon that's been jerry-rigged into an energy rifle is just a fun and strange thing to me that I feel is very, very Fallout and just entertaining. So if you'd like to check out this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. Well, that is going to be it for this one, my friends. Hopefully you all have enjoyed and you come back for the next. But until that time, thank you for watching as always. Well, have a good one.